compounds having the high lattice energy, so they have high stability in nature. Their melting point is also high. For example, we have exceptional materials like magnesium oxide, aluminum oxide. So they are the refractory materials whose melting point is very high. That's why they are used in the metallurgical process, or they are making for this furnace. Also, high lattice energy they causes the low solubility in water, so they dissolve in water very difficulties. And if the lattice energy more than the hydrogen energy, for example barium sulfate, so they will be insoluble in water. So let us see some examples. So here we can see that these compounds are there. Compounds sodium chloride, chloride, bromide, iodide. So this lattice energy is decreasing order. So if you make constant the cation, and if you increase the halide ions, so size of the halide ions increasing, so lattice energy also decreasing. If you take the group 2 element, so group 2 is beryllium, magnesium, calcium, magnesium. So you see if you take the ClBr, so again it is somewhat decreasing. So this is the comparison to study the lattice energy between different compounds. So let us see some examples of the lattice energy order. So this is lithium, chloride, chloride, bromide, and iodide. So it is increasing down the group. So lattice energy in this case is decreasing. Why? Because the size of the anion is increasing. If you see this second case, so in this case again halide is constant and size of the cations are increasing. So lattice energy will increase upward direction. Since this is the biggest size, so lattice energy will be smallest, and this is the smallest size, so lattice energy will be the largest. X can be Cl, fluorine, bromine, or whatever, it should be same. So we can also say that lattice energy of cesium iodide is less than that of sodium fluoride. Why? Because this is, and if the lattice energy is very small, then it will be more soluble in water than sodium fluoride. We have another example. This is the oxide, beryllium oxide to barium oxides. So here we can see that barium oxide is having the less lattice energy. So if you're going up from barium to beryllium, so what will happen? Lattice energy will increase. Why? Because size of the cations are increasing. Even if you see that this barium oxide is 2000 times more soluble than water than that of magnesium oxide. So this barium oxide is how much? It is 2000 times soluble than that magnesium oxide. So this much is soluble because of less lattice energy. If you see this in terms of carbonates, so in carbonates what happens? If you go from again down to up, means if you're going bottom to top, lattice energy will again increase, and this magnesium carbonate is less soluble in water, while the barium carbonate is more soluble in water. If you take another example, like this is magnesium sulfate. So in this case, magnesium sulfate, calcium sulfate, stone sulfate, barium sulfate, all these things. So again, size of the cations are again small. Magnesium more smaller than the barium. So lattice energy of magnesium sulfate is more than that of barium sulfate. Means if size of the cation is same and the anion is same and cations is decreasing, then the smaller size of the cations having the sulfate and having the maximum lattice energy. In this case, in lattice energy of the barium sulfate is less. Similarly, it can happen in case of hydroxide also. So in case of hydroxide, what happens? These three hydroxides, so again magnesium having the smallest size, so this is having the highest lattice energy and is less soluble as compared to the other hydroxides. Now one more thing is that if you see carefully, so I have written one small notes. So in this case we can see radius of the barium ion is double of that of magnesium ion. In this case what happens? Radius of the barium is double of magnesium ion. So lattice energy of the barium sulfate, means in this case barium sulfate should be lower than that of magnesium sulfate and more soluble in water. But in fact it is reverse. It is reverse. Reverse means what? This magnesium sulfate is more soluble than water. So what is the reason? The reason is that sulfate ion is large and a small cation is less than in contact with the large anion. A small cation is less than in contact with the large anion. Therefore, magnesium sulfate forms the less compact lattice than that of barium sulfate, and which is more solubility. So this is the reason for why the magnesium sulfate is more soluble than that of barium sulfate. Again, if you take calcium, fluoride, chloride, bromide and iodide, so if you go again up, so calcium anion is same, but the size of the iodine to fluoride, it is decreasing. If the size of the anion is more smaller, then same thing happens. This calcium fluoride is less soluble and calcium iodide is more soluble. So although their solubility is very less as compared to the normal solubility, still calcium fluoride will be less soluble because it has a large lattice energy. Now if we take in terms of silver halides, so what happened to silver halides? So in silver halides, like silver fluoride, chloride, bromide and iodide. So again, if you go from down to up, means iodine to fluorine, so what will happen? Size of the anion of the fluorine is decreasing. So we can say silver fluoride is less soluble as compared to silver iodide. That is, silver iodide has a lower lattice energy, silver iodide has a lower lattice energy. Still, it is less soluble in water. Why? Because it is increasing covalent character. It is soluble in water. Why? Because of covalent character from silver fluoride to silver iodide. And the silver fluoride is high lattice energy, but still it is more soluble than silver iodide. So why silver fluoride is more soluble than silver iodide? Because of this silver contains a large number of electrons. Silver contains a large number of electrons, and this large number of electrons, they have the van der Waals force of attraction and covalent characters. Same thing is there. It has more van der Waals force of attractions and it has more covalent characters. And due to this covalent characters and van der Waals force of attraction, lattice energy is suppressed down. Okay, and it becomes your less soluble as compared to silver fluoride. In this case, whatever lattice energy is again increased, but the van der Waals force of attraction is very less. So in this case, van der Waals force of attraction is very high, and that's why this is more soluble and this is less soluble. If you take the lattice energy wise, lattice energy of silver fluoride is very less, and this one, but silver fluoride is less soluble than silver iodide. Why? Because of van der Waals forces and more number of electrons present in the silver iodide ion. Now we will see some numericals on lattice energy using the Born-Haber cycles. So this is the ionization energy of the sodium, 995 kilojoule per mole. Electron affinity of chlorine is also given, 348. Lattice energy of 757 kilojoule per mole. Find out the amount of energy released in the formation of 1 mole of the sodium chloride in crystalline state from gaseous sodium and chloride. Sodium gaseous sodium, and this is the chlorine odium, so in gaseous state. So both are in gaseous state. How to solve the numericals? So sodium will give energies. This much energy is given, and similarly Cl will take electrons, so they will give you this much energy. This is the electron affinity, this is the ionization energy. And when these two gases and combine, so it will form NaCl. And for this, lattice energy is given, or that is also given. So amount of energy released will be how much? Lattice energy plus electron affinity minus ionization energy. So add this value, so you will get the answer 610 kilojoule per mole. So this is another solved numericals. Calculate the lattice enthalpy of the KCl from the following data at standard rate. This is standard rates. So sublimation of the potassium is given this much, dissociation energy of the Cl is given this much, ionization energy of potassium is given this much, and electron affinity of Cl is given this much. And this is the heat of formation of KCl is given this much. So use the formula: heat of formation equal to sublimation, dissociation, ionization energy, electron affinity and lattice energy. We have to find the lattice energy, and again for dissociation energy half is given, so it will be how much? The total energy of 1 Cl2 divided by 2, so we have to take the Cl atoms because KCl is given, so we have to take only 1 Cl, so we have to divide by 2, so it becomes 122. So substitute this value over here, all values, and you will get the answer 719. So it should have a negative value, because if the lattice energy is negative, then the reaction it will dissociate, otherwise thus dissociation is not feasible when this lattice energy will be positive. Calculate the lattice enthalpy of calcium chloride. So heat of this sublimation of this calcium is given 121. Similarly, dissociation of Cl2 Cl is given this much, and ionization energy of calcium is given this much, and electron affinity is also given, and heat of formation of calcium fluoride is also given. So use this formula: sublimation, dissociation, ionization energy, electron affinity. So this is, since this is the calcium chloride, so dissociation energy will be full 242.2 because we require 2 Cl. Ionization energy will be this much, and electron affinity so for 1 Cl they have given per mole, so for 2 ClB it will multiply by 2 and plus lattice energy. So on solving you will get this much answer. Calculate the lattice energy of lithium chloride given that the enthalpy sublimation of lithium is given, dissociation of half mole of fluorine is given this much, and ionization energy of lithium is given this much, and electron affinity of fluorine in gaseous state is given minus this much, and overall of energy given this much. So use this formula: heat of formation of lithium chloride will be sublimation, this is the dissociation enthalpy half, and ionization energy, electron affinity, and U. So you substitute all values, this will be negative form, so you will get the U value negative. So negative form itself explains that the this reaction is possible. Now calculate the lattice energy of the magnesium bromide from the given data. So magnesium in solid state, Br2 liquid state, this is given, and heat of formation is this much. Sublimation 148, ionization energy 2187. Heat of sublimation for bromine liquid to gaseous state is 31. Br2 from gaseous to gaseous 2 Br. Dissociation energy is given this much. Electron affinity of bromine is given this much, and we have to find the heat of formation magnesium bromide. So it is same. So write the heat of formation magnesium bromide, and this is the formula: sublimation, ionization energy, evaporation, dissociation, electron affinity, and U. Use value, put this value. So evaporation is given, bromine to bromine is this much, 193 minus 2 into 331, because Br2 is converted to Br, so it requires your magnesium bromide. 2 Br we require. So for 2 Br, 2 into 331 and plus U. So on solving you will get U equal to minus 2421 kilojoule per mole. This means that this dissociation is possible because of positive value of U. Similarly, calculate the lattice energy of calcium bromide in kilojoule per mole. So they have given sublimation for calcium this much. Heat of vaporization of Br2 from liquid to gas is given this much. Heat of dissociation for Br2 is given this much. Heat of ionization energy for both states, first and second, is given this much, and enthalpy is electron affinity for Br2 is given this much, and heat of formation of calcium to CaBr2 from solid and gas is given this much. So use this formula and put this value, again you will get minus 2126 kilojoule per mole. So these are the unsolved problems. You try by yourself. So let us, I am just reading out, so it will help you to understanding. Calculate the delta H lattice of tin oxide. If the heat of formation of tin oxide is minus 558, also the enthalpy of sublimation for tin is 292, then for CO2, for oxygen, dissociation is 454, and ionization energy for tin to S4, tin 4, this will be your tin 4, this will be 8990. So if you solve it, electron affinity for 1 and 2 for oxygen is this much. So you will get this much answer. Next is calculate the heat of formation of ionic solid neon monochloride, so Ne plus Cl minus, and indicate whether the formation of this hypothetical solid is favored or not. And we have given the value. Lattice energy is a minus 840 kilojoule per mole. Dissociation of Cl2 is 226 kilojoule per mole, and ionization enthalpy of neon is 2080 kilojoule per mole, and electron affinity of Cl is minus 351 kilojoule per mole. If you solve it, so you will get answer 1002 kilojoule per mole. This is the your heat of formation. So you can see the heat of formation of neon chloride is endothermic. This is, we are getting the positive value, so heat of formation is endothermic. So this is not energetically favored. Calculate the next question. Calculate the electron affinity flowing from the data given below. So heat of formation of Kf is this much, sublimation of potassium given this much, and heat of dissociation of fluorine is given this much. Lattice energy also given Kf, and ionization energy of potassium given this much. If we solve it, so we can find out electron affinity of fluorine will be this much value. So use the formula in the solve examples. If you are unable to solve it, so you will get this much answer.